her say, Jassel, Jassel, Jassel after dark. Jassel, Jassel, Jassel after dark. Jassel, Jassel, Jassel after dark. What you talking at the day? At the night part. Jassel, Jassel, Jassel after dark. Jassel, Jassel, Jassel after dark. Jassel, Jassel, Jassel after dark. What you talking at the day? At the night part.
All right, good night, ladies, gentlemen, married and single people. Thank you for tuning in to JASL After Dark. I'm your host, Calvin. Now, we're live on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Yes, 8 p.m. So please remember, we're now on at 8 p.m. every Wednesday. So JASL After Dark is brought to you by Jamaica Aid Support for Life. You can also watch and listen to the show on JASL's Instagram page at JASL Info or on Facebook at Jamaica Aid Support for Life. Or you can stay with us right here on the Bridge 99 FM. I have with me my co-host Sade. Hey Sade.
Hey. Good night, lovers. It's your girl Sade Buckridge from Fetish Secrets. How are you?
I'm great.
Nice.
Yeah, ready for tonight's topic.
I am. I'm pretty excited. Me like talk about love and sex and romance and intimacy. So I'm excited about tonight, you know. So, you know, this evening we'll be exploring the topic, is marriage for everyone? To share in this discussion tonight, we have Greg and Julian Currie, who have been together for over 10 years and married for 5 years. So 15 years of love. Also, we will be having Mr. Shane O'Connor, who is a marriage officer, who will be joining us later on. They're going to be here for the entire night while we discuss the topic, is marriage for everyone? But before we get to that, it's time for Hot Topic.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna want something juicy to eat. Are we in the pot?
It's time for Hot Pot.
Hot Pot.
Hot pot.
Hot Pot.
No, sir. Discarding it.
Hot Pot.
All right, so there are always some topics that are interesting and somewhat controversial. So each week we dip into our hot pot for a topic to discuss. So here goes, Mrs. Currie. I'm asking you if you dip into that right there. That's our hot pot. And take out a strip of paper and read it for us.
Nervous.
Should a man be responsible for a child he said that he did not want to have?
Ooh.
Oh, Lord. Who?
I think we have an audio to play for that question.
Yes, we do. Let's hear it.
Let's cue that.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, But I say it's my life, my choice.
All right. So that was a mouthful.
Right.
And I'd love to hear what my guests think about this. What do you have to say? Let's talk about it. Mr. Currie, you want to go first?
I really think that man is a crazy man. And the woman that sleep with that man is also crazy.
Remember, it's 7 kids him saying with 7 baby
With
mother.
7 different lady.
Mm-hmm.
A child is not just a one-off thing. You naturally, in Jamaica, you don't know, you have a child, it's 18 years of ongoing until that
Right.
child, it's not even say 18 and you go, it's 18 until you finish college and then you say, all right, you can leave. Or they choose to leave. But
Okay.
you want the best for your child, so you are going to put out until this child, you think this child is ready to step out on the street on their own. You're not going to just go have youth and then just say, why you hear me? Oh man, you're all right here, man.
Okay. So you don't agree with him in the
None
fact
at
that
all. Not
once
at
you
all.
lay with a woman and
If
you
youth come
ejaculate
into play-
inside, you're already at risk of pregnancy. So if the child comes, listen, you have to take all financial responsibilities and every other responsibilities there is.
Have to do everything you have to do
Okay.
to ensure, say, the youth get take care of. You can't just breed woman and just cut.
Right. How about you, Mrs. Currie?
I agree. Totally. From you think about sleeping with the person, you must think say baby will come. You understand me? So if you know you can't take up that responsibility, then I mean you need to keep your penis in your clothes. So
Our condom.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, condom can burst. So if so be the case, you wear
Well,
2 and 3.
What do you think, Calvin?
I just want to say, condoms can burst, yes, but
Yeah.
when you use them properly, they're more times than not. You know,
Like
They're-
Calvin sound like he's a man a pinch, leave an inch and roll regular.
I mean, we like to promote that on the show, so definitely using the condoms.
All right, what do you think, Calvin?
But for me though, yes, a man should be responsible for any child that comes as a result of sex he has. Even in this case, he's saying, I told them I didn't want to have any children, and he admits being irresponsible and all of that. That's not enough. You knew what the possibility was, and you did it anyway, right? So as a man, you have to be responsible for your children. That
Yeah.
I don't think there's any two-way about it.
I don't know. I have mixed emotions in regards towards it because at the two we got trouble, we never for trouble at the end of the day. And then as females, we do have the right for abortion. We have the right for
in
a
other
lot of things.
jurisdictions, not
Yes.
locally. Yeah.
So if you lay with a man and he look at you and say, listen, I don't want to have a child with you. Like my next thing to that female is why you carry the child. And you know what you're going to endure. I do agree to some aspect, like the child is already here. You have to take responsibility for the way you have to do for maintain that child and being that child's life, even if it's not financially, but just your presence as a dad, But then again, me go lay down with a man and him saying, no want to pick what me I carry it for. Like, me just I think about that part there, because now me have to think about a single parent doing all of this for me and my child, and there's no father, and then me have to go look a stepfather, and then carry on and go through the whole cultural aspect of it. So to be honest, I have mixed feelings in regards to it. In the event I do lay with somebody, we have sexual intercourse and we do everything, I will feel good, I will feel nice, and oh my God, I miss my time, and this man say him no want to pick me. Me as a person now, I have to think to myself like, but if the man don't want to pick me, just me alone, I can manage single life, I can manage single motherhood. At that point, is either I go do abortion or I just tell myself, say, listen, me I go raise a child upon my own and leave him alone and call it a day, But I'm not going to fully wrong him. It's a 50-50. If you feel like you're not ready for fatherhood, you're not ready for all these legal, financial responsibilities or anything there is, I'm going to respect you for that. Because I know the two will lay down, the two will do all these things, So it's like a 50-50 for me, in some sense.
But you know the thing is,
Yes.
when I remember my youthful days now, watch this. Much woman me tell say, yeah, me doesn't feel nothing for you, But,
Yeah.
Or me tell myself say, yeah, me I knock this at one time, yeah, man. Get 1 knock, 2 knock, yeah. I say, wait. No, man, I have to go back. 3. Till feelings start coming to play. So he might have tell himself, say, him no want a youth and him a tell them say yo this and that. So is a one touch and him just breed 7 woman go so? No. Me not believe.
There's some form of connection, not just sexual but emotional.
Women, you have to check, unless imprecise on them cycle, like, trust me, you have girl, if you not catch the right cycle, you don't never get her pregnant.
Yeah. Especially if she's not protecting herself.
Yeah,
and women too, we have to put it out there, like, you have to protect yourself. Everybody want to be risky. Everybody want to have the nasty sex and the freaky sex. Like, protect yourself. Take your contraceptive. Take your pills. Take your morning after and do all of that too. So we have to protect ourselves too and not just feel like especially with our culture, you know, woman feel like a pitney go hold the man and a pitney go catch the man. So that's the next thing. So if you feel like that naga happen, listen, go take a pill and get rid of it.
I see Christina Brown Sugar underscore plum plum on Instagram says, truth, we have to think ahead, not just for the present only. And that's true. I mean, we're not saying, okay, you have to be in a committed relationship. Who you decide to have sex with that's your decision, right? But what you have to do is ensure that you're not just thinking about the moment. So that's why protection is so important in terms of condoms, because not only for the pregnancy, but for preventing STIs as well.
And for the sake of the child, because it can bring a lot of trauma emotionally, you know, to know that, okay, this child is growing up without a father, you know, and you have to go through so many things. So people don't think about the psychological aspect of it, which... But yeah, have fun and have sex. You don't have time for think about all of that.
It negative is both on the woman's life and whatever child.
You see why I have mixed emotions about it? Like, I don't know how to feel. Because me personally, I can't speak for everyone. If I'm having sex with my sexual partner, you know, and there's no condom, I feel like, all right, this is it, and everything feel nice and all of that, and you come inside me and, you know, I mean, I've got to decide as a woman, you know, I'm one do this what I do there, or me can do that single mother with something here. Is either abortion or something else, you know. I have to tell myself that I'm ready, I'm mentally prepared, like my mental capacity is ready to raise that child and be there for that child. Well, fine, but if somebody said them no one did, what me I gonna do?
But again too, no. But think about it. How long do you stay with a person to know that you really want this person for the rest of your life?
Well, we're getting into that. We're getting into that. We are going to get into that.
That is a part of
the whole decision making and the thought process.
I don't know about anybody else, but I can talk for myself. You know, brother, watch this. First youth, 27 year old. But now I go just drone and go say, yeah. You made a while and out. No shame. No shame then I give, brother.
Can't be. Life lessons.
All right. You know, we can go on and on and on, but this brings us to our first break. So we'll be right back with more JASL After Dark.
JASL After Dark. JASL After Dark. JASL After Dark. What you talking about the day? The night part. JASL After Dark. JASL After Dark. JASL After Dark. What you talking about the day? The night part.
If you're just joining us, you are listening to JASL After Dark, brought to you by Jamaica Aid Support for Life on the Bridge 99 FM. Reminding you the best gift is a gift to yourself. That's taking care of your health and ensuring that you know your status. You can contact Jamaica Aid Support for Life to get tested for HIV and syphilis, or if you're living with HIV, to start treatment.
All right, so we have in studio with us Mr. Craig and Mrs. Julianne Currie, who are married for over 5 years, as well as Mr. Shane O'Connor via Zoom, who is a marriage officer who will be a part of our conversation. Is marriage for everyone? So let's get into it. So Mr. and Mrs. Currie, so you've been married for 5 years, right? And how long?
It's not over 5.
Over 5.
It's not over 5. It's almost 5.
Almost 4 years and something.
August
soon 5.
the 4th, 5 years.
All right.
Okay.
August 4th.
Tie up the night. Tie up the knot.
And that's Mr. Currie, so you need to know.
Yeah, man.
August
Lock the
4th.
thing. Oh, yes, man.
So you,
proud and loud, man.
yeah, you know them say man don't
I love
normally
that.
remember anniversary.
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. I love that.
So you've been dating for over 10 years before getting married?
Yes.
Why take so long?
No, don't say that. You.
No, we want to know.
That's what a lot of
We
persons
want
are
to
going to
know.
say. They're going to
So,
say that's
Mrs.
a long
Currie,
time. Why?
who is going to answer why it took so long?
Well, when I met him, he said he wasn't gonna get married until he was 50. I was in a marriage before, so for me it didn't work out. I was just I was with a person for 10 years, get married, and then it just ended before the year.
Oh.
So it was okay for me not to want to get married again because it did not work at first. So when I met him, he said he didn't want to marry until he was 50 because everybody else around him, marriage was just falling apart.
Understand.
Until he proposed. So in the 10 years span.
How about you, Mr. Currie? Why did it take you so long?
Shit, you hear me? I got answer in about trust me.
Yes, I want to hear it.
All right, watch this.
May I watch and listen?
It took me that long. I wanted to know who I was in a relationship
You wanted to be sure.
I went through so much.
Yes.
Had a baby mother.
Mm-hmm.
Had all that drama.
Yes.
Headspace not right. Woman just run in and say, yeah, like that you would tell I'm ambitious, yeah. Run in and run out again, and I say, oh no man, life now go good. When I met Julian, wow. I can remember all of that.
Yes.
Like yesterday. But see her, like her, everything. I never know who she still was. It's a person I've been seeing for quite a while, but never step up to her and say, boy, you know, I like you. But one
you were
day,
giving yourself time then, in other words.
Yes.
Right. So it took you the 10 years to get to know Mrs. Currie, you know, and everything that you've been through and all of that, to say, all right, this is it. This is my person. She may spend the rest of my life with. You know, my question is, how long would you have been dating before you started living together? Mrs. Currie?
I would say 6 months.
6 months. After 6 months, you just decide so now go pack on the bags and live together and have family?
No.
What
Let me tell you
happened?
how
It
it
was
started.
back and
Whoa.
We want to go to live together part and
No.
you know, I want to know like the things that annoy, you know, when they decide say we're not gonna live together. Tell me.
Me I gonna tell you what go on.
Yes.
The brother they broke. Couldn't afford to pay no more rent.
Yes.
And my brother look at me and say, yo, go live with our brother, you're gonna make all of them something happen to you. And started out, I moved to her place. I was sleeping there.
Back and forth.
I was sleeping there. And man, I said, but you don't sleep there already, so you know and I said, brother, I can't live on a woman yard, brother. I'm not ready for them things there, brother. I want to be a man, brother. Can't go sleep or live in a woman house, brother. And man, I said, brother, but you know, nothing now go on. You know, sister, we soft out. I'm old. Just take my pride out and I said, throw it in my pocket and say, yo, yeah, hear me. I do this, you know.
Yeah.
Being together, we fight it. When we realize that we start grow.
So how long after you start date you decide so we're not gonna live together?
The relationship not reach a year yet, Julian.
Yeah.
Oh,
6
it wasn't a
months.
year. So under a year, you guys decided to
Yeah.
live together.
Yeah.
So when you decided to move in, like what were some of the things that annoyed you? Because you know, as couple and years say, see me and come live with me are two different things. So what was it like living together after that 6 months? Because remember, I'm still brand new, you know.
Me know him never like me look a 14-inch TV.
13.
13.
Yo,
So that annoyed you. Yeah. Can't watch the sports and all these
Football
things.
and them small.
Brother, I should go on a foreign before she come back. Make sure I buy a big 27-inch TV and say, yeah, people look like people now.
Okay. So there wasn't much annoyance.
No.
You just understood each other and make it work.
I was the person that was making the money at the time.
Yes.
So I I didn't let him feel less of a person.
Right,
If we're
which
going
is
to the
important.
supermarket, I would give him the card and walk
Yeah.
behind him like he's spending. But
Yeah.
I was the person that making him up. But I never let him feel less of a person.
Less of a man,
Because
right.
what happened when I met him, he was my friend.
Yes.
Before we actually started, you know.
To progress
yes,
into
he was
something,
my
right.
friend. So that was.
Julian, I want to know
Okay.
about the beginning. Take us back to the start of the relationship.
Oh,
I
I
will look
met
who now.
him. No, he always see me because I'm a hairdresser by profession.
Yes.
So he always come to the barber shop and see, but I didn't know he likes me. So one day I was walking across a pathway and I saw the person calling me. I was like, oh, I'm not ready. I didn't want a relationship. I just coming out of a marriage maybe
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for a relationship. And then his friend said to me, my friend like you. And I said, me no want a man. But for some reason, I think he was stalking me. So I was home on Wednesday and he called me and said, where are you? I said, I'm home. He said, he knows I'm at the top of your road. So I went out there and we drive around. It was Rodney's Arms.
You hear the part of the story, the switch.
Yeah.
Me get the number.
I don't know he got me number.
Yeah, but he got it and
Yes.
he called.
And
We're
we
working
drove
with her
out- yes.
version. Yes.
So we drove out and we were on the seaside talking and stuff like that. And at the time, he was going through stuff. I was going through stuff. So, you know,
Right.
we were friends. We started telling each other what we're going through and we just build that friendship. So we actually met on a board bridge.
Oh, nice.
The
It sounds
boardwalk.
romantic.
Right?
It
On the
sounds
boardwalk.
Yeah,
romantic.
man, I know Rodney's
But you know, my thing, Mr. Currie, I want to know because you know every girl's dream is all about the wedding and the proposal and all of these things. I would like the fancy things and the fairy tales things. What was the proposal like?
Makes you pee pepper herself.
I lie, Mrs. Currie. I want to hear about it. What was the proposal like? How
Nah,
did
me
you
have to
feel
take
in the
notes.
moment?
Me have to take
Yeah,
notes.
me I take notes. What was the proposal
You have to come a
like?
class, man. You have to come a class.
Well,
I'm in class now.
proposal.
Class is in session.
With the proposal, it was 2016, my birthday.
Yes.
He said to me that he wanted to give me a party. I said I didn't like I don't want any party because I don't want to clean up after.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he was adamant that he wanted to give me a party. And I'm just going to invite some friends over. But for the whole day, him leave me alone at home. I had to be cleaning up the place because we're having friends over.
Yes.
And when he come in the evening, him come with chair, table. So me I said, what if I
what
excitement
keep?
of, you understand?
Yeah.
We catered food and stuff like that. And we were at the backyard and stuff. So he had given me, I think it was a red outfit, like nice red
Ooh,
outfit to wear, all in one full body. And I put it on for the night and I came out. But I noticed when the party was going on, he was literally sweating. You know, I was wondering why he's so nervous. And then, yeah, you know, and then he started playing, the person that was playing the music, he started playing this song that Usher, it's a question from my heart. You got
Yeah,
it, don't belong
yeah,
to no one else
yeah.
but you.
Big true.
And then we see him pop out the ring, and I peed myself.
Oh, did you cry? It was
Yes, I
Oh,
was
wow.
so excited. I was excited. I was like,
Speechless.
because
You know,
actually everybody knew around me that he was gonna do this because I heard that he bought the ring from April and he proposed in June.
Oh wow.
So he was hiding the ring. My son knew, my daughter knew, everybody knew except me.
All right.
A man with a plan.
I like that.
I don't know what
So-
happens, I do it good, man.
So,
Nice.
so Craig, we see nowadays where some women are proposing to men. Now, tell me, what's your thought on that? And would you have been okay if Julian had proposed to you?
Me nah go say yes.
But
It not tradition. It not
Not
traditional.
True.
And I want to feel a lovely for myself. I want to tell her, say, yo.
You want to be the one expressing it.
I really think some man should have go out there and tell a woman, say, yo, I really like you. I really love you. I want to spend my life with you. The rest of my life with you. Trust me, when I decide on getting married, I was at a point of my life where a lot of things changed. I was not the one who was standing at the back now saying, boy, I know, I wonder where the next dollar come from. It all went from nothing to everything.
yes.
So we had changed our residence, and not because of we buy a house or a bigger house. We just, I keep on hearing people keep on telling me, say, watch myself. And I just like, yo.
So in other words, you would have accepted the proposal if she would have proposed to you.
No, sir.
You would have accepted.
No,
Or so
sir.
you're against it.
Yes.
You want it to be traditional where the men propose.
I want
Okay.
to propose to my wife.
Understand.
You feel like, say, yo, when me go out to her and say, yo, will you marry me? And I say, she goes and freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And me I say, I wonder if she hear me. Me never know. I like the feeling. I like
Alright. Traditional. All right. We can work with that.
Yeah, we definitely can work with it. I don't know about you, but well, I agree with you in that. Yeah, I don't want a woman propose to me.
Me not
Yeah.
propose. Me sure of that. Me not do it.
Me know you wouldn't.
I walk in a candlelight and rose. I want
Right.
to see balloon and people and cry.
Excitement.
Me not do
gal.
it. I'm a ring nice. You crazy?
Well,
Me not
well,
gonna
it's-
no
it-
knee.
It's
Unless other things.
9:30. It's 8:30
Yes.
on the bridge, and we are going to a break. It's JASL After Dark, brought to you by Jamaica 8 Support for Life.
What Blackstar say? Jostle after dark. Jostle after dark. Jostle after dark. What you I'm talking about the day? Inna the night part. Jostle after dark. Jostle after dark. Jostle after dark. What you I'm talking about the day? Inna the night part.
All right, welcome back to JASL After Dark, brought to you by Jamaica 8 Support for Life on the Bridge 99 FM. We are here talking about is marriage for everyone with the married couple, Mr. Craig and Mrs. Julian Currie. And we also have joining us marriage officer, Mr. Shane O'Connor. Welcome, Shane.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's been a very interesting conversation so far.
Good evening.
Awesome, Shane. So we want to get right into it. Shane, from where you stand, is marriage for everyone?
No,
Thank you.
No.
it's as simple as that. Marriage isn't for everybody. But then one has to be very careful about having said no, how you go about living thereafter, because what is required in a marriage is simply selflessness. And unfortunately, from a human perspective, the biological person or the human being is naturally selfish. And so if individuals can't reconcile that situation within where it's all about them instead of it being all about the spouse, then they should remain single.
So is counseling necessary for marriages to work?
No, it is indeed. It's not a silver bullet. It's not a guarantee. It's good to have that theoretical footing, or as a platform or a foundation upon which you springboard into marriage, because I have a theory. You can take the position of Superman, being Superman or Wonder Woman, and you can Superman your way through a marriage or Wonder Woman your way through a marriage. The only difficulty with that is Superman would have to marry a Lois Lane. And Wonder Woman would have to marry a Trevor. And those individuals, Trevor and Superman, and Lois Lane rather, are human beings. Wonder Woman and Superman have a heightened level of ethic. The worlds they come from, their training, their sociological development is different from Trevor and from Lois Lane. And so if Lois Lane and Trevor aren't given a theoretical walkthrough of what it's going to be like to be married to Superman and to Wonder Woman, especially because they are crime fighters, they are heroes, they're saving, their purpose is to save mankind from themselves because of their heightened level of ethics. It's going to be difficult for them to, experience the kind of quality marriage that they deserve to have. And also the contrary is true. When Trevor and Lois Lane are responding to human depravity in a particular way that Superman and Wonder Woman don't, because of the positions they have, godlike, and their ethic is at a certain level. If there isn't this meeting of the minds and a placing of the cards on the table, then you'll be very surprised when you get into a marriage, certain cards play.
Okay.
And when the cards are played, you don't know how to respond.
Right.
So,
All right. So, what are some broad areas that you advise all couples to discuss prior to getting married? As a marriage counselor, two persons come to you, they want to get married. Like, what are some of the things you discuss with them before, they actually get married?
One of the things that I have recently introduced is I've asked them to consider, honestly, the kind of account they have. So I'm using a banking principle. And it is expanded or expressed rather through 4 different accounts. Everybody wants to have that healthy account where things are buoyant and fresh and effervescent and enthusiastic. And usually that takes place at the beginning of the marriage or the beginning of the relationship. And there is this rekindling of that, so to speak. When you get married, the guests are there, the drone is overhead, the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, the whole gala event kind of rekindles the whole togetherness that they experience in the beginning. It's almost a destination in a sense that they have arrived at. But I say to them, as much as you want to be that healthy couple, the truth is when the helium leaks out of the balloon and it comes back down to earth, what kind of account do you really have? Do you have a healthy account? Do you have an account that demonstrates insufficient funds? So you have funds, but it's not sufficient enough
for the transaction
keep the marriage going for a period of time. Or do you have a dormant account where, because of how the relationship is developing, somebody in the relationship now puts the relationship in a frozen position, so it's difficult to interact with it and to add to it. Or worse yet, do you have a dead account? And if your account goes dead, it means you need a brand new account, which involves somebody new most times. And that's when your marriage ends. So I try to ask them, I made them aware rather that marriage is a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to put in the work,
it is.
Don't get married.
Indeed.
It's work, a lot of work. However, it becomes a lot easier if you're marrying your best friend. If you're marrying somebody that you've spent considerable time studying, considerable time
best friend,
building a relationship with them, seeing them in various settings, the ups and downs, the ins and the outs. I call that, in marriage, I call it the interlocking principle, where you're taking each other along for the personal and the professional ride of the marital life. So you take them through those various stages and, like a light bulb, they become more and more illuminated to what they're actually getting into. Because unfortunately, a lot of couples come to counseling already having determined when they're going to get married and who they're going to get married to. But they don't spend enough time determining the kind of person they're getting married to because they're so caught up in the euphoria.
Which is important, yes.
All right, so the Curries who are here with us, they would have spoken about the time it took them, getting to know each other before getting married. So after doing all of that, we know that marriage it's not bliss. So is there a time or an experience you can share where you guys had a fight and it resulted in did you ever have a fight and it resulted in you guys being separated for any period of time or anything like that? What?
No, I don't. No.
You always work it out, talk about it, and communicate it with each other.
Before marriage, we used to do the malice thing. You come in, I still cook, I still wash, I do everything, but we maybe don't talk for days. But being married, we decide that we wasn't gonna do that.
Yes,
so we try to talk about things right there and then. So as the Bible says, we must not go to bed
Yeah.
Not talking to the person, make 6 o'clock catch you. So
Yeah.
which I adjusted that. So no,
Okay.
we don't do that since we're married.
I appreciate that. Counselor, I heard you mention something about, marrying your best friend or, being together with your best friend for years. The divorce rates are skyrocketing. What would you say to a couple listening to you tonight that is thinking about getting divorced?
If you're at that point where you're thinking about getting divorced, it means that your your expectations obviously are not being met. One would ask the question, what kind of expectations you had in the beginning, and if those expectations were actually discussed before you entered marriage. Because there are things called deal breakers. And sometimes we kind of sweep the deal breaker under the carpet because we think that we have the ability to change the individual. The person is not considered necessarily a partner, but they are seen as a product. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on them. Man shortage. We've heard that statement before, man short. And for women especially, where men are not easily found, or quality men aren't easily found, quite a number of women tend to settle. And then when they settle, they use their partner as a product or a project. And so they're looking to change the things that they see to suit what their expectations are. And very often, when you attempt to enter marriage to change the person, it's met with resentment. Because persons don't want to be changed.
Right.
They want to change because they see the need to change personally and for the benefit of the marriage.
Okay.
So that's one aspect of it. There are quite a few of them.
A lot that we can get into, but some other time. But in your experience, do you believe couples get bored after marriage?
They get bored because, for a number of reasons. But as I saw from a psychologist recently, he was interviewed and he was asked, what advice would you give a young couple? And he said, keep dating.
Yes.
Right? So the couple that you have there, beautiful couple, they were together for 10 years and then they're almost at 5. They would have gone through several stages of a relationship that perhaps would not manifest difficulty at this stage in their marriage. But rest assured, at some point in time, they're going to get to a stage when they start to take each other for granted. All relationships go through that, where they don't really, they're going to be running on fumes. It's the routine and the rudimentary everyday situation that they have to go through that really they should be using to their advantage. Because the more predictable you are in a marriage is the more stable your marriage should be. But some married couples look at predictability as being boredom. And then they try now to spice it up by doing things which are outside the character of their marriage, which now creates challenges and pulls in challenges that now, instead of bringing them together, it eventually pulls them apart.
Okay.
Speaking of spicing things up, Shane, how much sex should married couples have?
That's a big question. I made the studies have been shown that with every decade that a married couple goes through, that of course as persons get older, the sexual appetite starts to trend downward. I would say have as much as you possibly can, because there's a period of time when soldiers no longer believe that there's a war and they take an honorable or dishonorable
It's
discharge.
just important. It's important for married people to have sex. It's very important.
Have a lot of it.
Yes,
And that Victoria's Secret don't work after a period of time. And Cialis and Viagra, they will not help you. So during this period when you're healthy, when you're younger, when things are firing, things are working, have as much as you possibly can, because that is a part of the it's the management of your relationship.
All right. Thank
Don't
you.
put it this way in terms of marriage.
All right.
There's always somebody out there who is willing to do for your partner what you are not willing to do.
That is our next segment.
Let me just drop-
So we're
drop
going to
right
take a
there.
break right now. We're coming right back. So you are listening to JASL After Dark on the Bridge 99 FM. We'll be right back.
What Blackstar said, Jostle, jostle, jostle off the dog. Jostle, jostle, jostle off the dog. Jostle, jostle, jostle off the dog. What you on talking at the day? At the night part. Jostle, jostle, jostle off the dog. Jostle, jostle, jostle off the dog. Jostle, jostle, jostle off the dog. What you on talking at the day? At the night part.
All right, welcome back to JASL After Dark. Now, you know, we can't have JASL After Dark and we don't talk about sex, right, Shade?
I've been waiting patiently.
What's the first question you want to ask, Shade?
All right, so some men like to say that them not buy a pussy in a bag. What is your take on this? Do you believe in sex before marriage or after marriage? You know, in other words, me I get long down a business more and know the things them like, you know, if you did and was that something that both of you wanted? How was it for the both of you? Was this coming on a date a long time before marriage, 10 years on the affair, do the things them in the bedroom long before. You know what? On the other aspect of things, what was your belief for that? Sex before marriage, you know, what was it?
I didn't have a belief, you know. It just happened.
Nice.
It happened. And when she gave it up, I refused it.
What?
I told her if she's not ready,
She must not indulge.
she don't have to push it.
Oh, I like that. And
So
how did you feel about that? Mrs. Currie, how you felt about that?
Yeah, when
No,
you
I
tell her.
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready at the time. I didn't want emotion taking me up. So after reaching to almost getting there, I said to him I wasn't ready. And he said, okay. And we just slept the night again.
Cuddling and all.
Cuddling and-
Oh, nice. I like this, Calvin.
So since getting married and all of that, did sex get boring after marriage? What?
Yeah, madman, you know, brother.
No, sir. No, we not.
Can I say that to him?
Yes, you
Yeah, man,
can.
they can
No,
say
man.
they
That's
give
anything
man
to
more-
it.
more, no.
Calvin, you don't smoke before you come here, man.
So it doesn't get boring
It don't get
after.
boring.
Never.
No.
Okay.
This seemed like Mrs.
Yo,
Currie
we're
wanted to talk about
partying, you know,
this.
brother. Me and my wife are partying.
Partying.
Best friends.
Brother, but that work, babes, me so come. So where we go? No, we go up on the road.
Yeah, we date a lot.
Which is very important. Yeah. So to keep it spice and alive.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
get
ready.
complacent
No.
in the
Country
in the
tomorrow
marriage.
morning, me ready.
Yes.
You
All
call
right.
me and say, yo,
This
you
is
should
it.
Call me and tell me, say,
So you're very
babes,
spontaneous.
what?
Yes.
Babes, I want something tonight. Yo, me start. I work, me I push up, me I run, me I jog.
Fit and
Are
fine.
you ready?
Yeah.
You're ready. Yes.
Shade me I say.
Oh, I like that.
Ready.
Being the extended family that you are, do you think kids disrupt your sex life? You know, is it that you have to set a schedule, or you know, you can't make no sound, or you make sex work with the kids in the house? Like, how it go?
No, we're all the way to the back. Like, now we're talking.
Yeah.
No, we're all the way to the back of the house. We live in a really huge house, 6 bedrooms. So they're at the front, we're at the extreme back.
Okay, so you can go on with yourself and
yes,
scream and carry
and
on.
If we really want to carry on more, then we book somewhere else.
Okay, nice.
Take
I
it
like that.
outside the home.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Shane. So for the couples who don't have the luxury of that large space where they can be far from their children, what advice you give to those couples to, you know, maintain a healthy sex life?
I'll give you a non. Well, this answer is not my answer, but I agree with it. Just invest in a very good lock. Take the key, put it in the lock, or
Shane, we
not,
can answer that for you, man. We
press
can
it.
answer that for you, Shane. My wife go away for 3 weeks, and when she come back, we not sleep home. We just go enjoy ourselves.
Well, you know, and
We not
that's
sleep
good when you have that
hard,
level of
make nice and
flexibility
go
with a
on
budget.
bad.
But if you don't if you don't have that kind of budget, you're gonna have to, because when children come into play,
Yes.
it does change the dynamic
Yeah, it
of,
does.
Of everything,
the
it
sexual
does, yeah.
interplay. So you better lock the door and do what you have to do, turn on music so it dampens the sound. Whatever you have to do in order to get it done, because that's a very important part of the marital experience. Children should not be bursting door open, or should have a freedom to just open and come into mommy and daddy's room whenever. When door lock. And sometimes you have to schedule it at certain times when you know that you won't be interrupted either. So Yeah. Locks are good things.
Fair enough, but what happened to those who, don't have the luxury of that? What is your advice for those married couples? They want to enjoy a good time, the whole intimacy and the romance part of it, but they do have kids, but they don't have the luxury for say, all right, only they at the front, only they at the back, or, we can travel together, or we can book the hotel, or all of that. So what is your advice
putting them
to
young
those?
and have to deal with them all
Exactly.
the time.
What is your advice?
Well, for me, I would say if you have good friends, let your friend babysit.
Okay.
Either you carry them over.
So that's a part of the scheduling.
Yes. Make them babysit.
Mr. Currie?
Choose your time wisely. When the kids are gone, you do what you have to do. And you have to schedule the thing properly, because I believe if you have this thing go on in front of the kids,
yes,
or say, oh, I'm asleep, man, we can't teeth beast. I don't believe in that.
Yes.
No time, no day, nowhere. So,
okay, I agree with you.
Shane, do you think it's okay for married couples to introduce sex toys into the bedroom?
I don't see why not. It's whatever happens in your bedroom is a private affair, as long as it remains between, within the marital context. It's the husband and the wife, and they're doing what they're doing. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So if you don't need to advertise stuff like that. If you want to introduce those things, that's completely up to you. The bed is undefiled.
Okay. The Curries, you guys share some festive stories and all of that. So, may I dig up?
Let me answer quick. We are not the toy stuff.
You're not the toy
We're
stuff.
not into the toy business.
Okay.
We're not toy around them things.
Just
there.
us.
Okay,
Us.
which is good. All right, here at JASL, we always promote, HIV, getting tested and stuff
knowing
like
your
that,
status.
knowing your status and all of that with your partner. It's all about sex positivity and your sexual health and wellness. How important is it for you and you're supposed to do HIV and other tests for STDs together? How important is it for you guys in a marriage together?
This is very important, but I'm not going to lie to you. Since we had our kid 11 years now, that's the last time we ever get tested.
Okay. So you trust each other enough to say, okay. All right.
Shane, is that something you recommend for couples getting married?
Honestly, I've never recommended it at all. It has never left my lips. I can see why it makes sense, because in the world in which we live today, sex now is very fast and loose. So, especially in the example that was given, the clip that was played, you have an individual who is obviously has multiple partners, and each of the baby mothers perhaps has no idea that the others exist.
Yeah.
But there is no real thought given to the level of promiscuity, or if this individual is promiscuous at all. So the only reason you have these children is because they're having unprotected sex. That's my assumption. My assumption is this guy's not a condom guy. This guy is as bare as a deer.
Yeah.
In light of that, nothing is wrong if you do your tests, especially initially when you're you're just starting on a relationship. You want to make sure that the cards are on the table. We're talking about body count. Body count seems to be a thing today. What's your body count? And guys tend to want to advertise as, the higher the body count for guys, the better it is. The higher for women, boy, that's a problem. So in order to stabilize the relationship or to create some level of stability, you want to be open about these conversations. And then once you get the tests, and you're in the clear, then no, you need to consider, is this the person I really want to build a relationship with? And the truth is, if that's the case, and monogamy, which really should be the order of the day, if trust is a big thing in a relationship.
It is.
And if you don't trust the person that way, then you're going to have to keep taking tests even after you get married. At some point in time, like this couple here, the tests have to come to an end.
Yeah.
At some point in time, there has to be some amount of trust that is built over time. And if you don't have that trust, then I question the quality of the relationship.
Exactly.
If after a period of time you are still taking tests. But tests are important. You're starting off the journey, yes. But over a period of time, my thinking is it has to come to an end, because trust now becomes an issue. For me.
I definitely believe that. But my last question for you, the Curries, everybody has a breaking point. What would you say is a deal breaker in your marriage? That one thing for the both of you that you don't think you can ever forgive. You could never, no matter what, you're not going to forgive that situation, that moment, nothing. What is that deal breaker for you? Because marriage and any relationship come with any ups and downs. Some we can work through, some we can't work through. So what is the deal breaker for you guys?
Well, for me, if he goes out there and get another child.
Okay, that's a deal breaker. That will make you say, listen, this is it. I'm done.
So not another woman, but if you can get a child.
Get a child. A woman and a child. We can't deal with a woman.
That's what I say,
you understand?
Yeah.
But not
the child.
No.
And how about you, Mr. Currie?
I don't even want to answer. I don't even want to answer.
What is the deal breaker? You can say, Juliana, eat this, me not come back. Like, this is it.
My temperament, anything at all. You might just say something and just tick me off and me I say, yo, I hate this, I can't deal with this no more. So.
What you mean? This is for our next conversation because time going on us. What you mean?
We have a level of friendship and I don't think about nothing. I stay in my zone. I tell you, I one of them man, I don't really have no. I got think about what gonna make me and her break up. The moment you start think about those things, it's like bring them into being or speak them into being.
Manifest it, yeah.
All right. Well, we are out of time. We're out of time this week. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Currie, for being on JASL After Dark this week. And thank you, Shane O'Connor, who is a marriage counselor. So, we discussed marriage. Is it for everyone? So thank you for joining us, reminding everyone that Jamaica AIDS Support for Life provides free HIV and syphilis testing, free HIV treatment. So you can call us 925-0021. See you next week, 8 o'clock for JASL After Dark.